What's up, 10 Scale Squad? You guys like this little thing. This is our budget spec mini crawler. It's a Kyosho Mini Z clone is what it is. And you guys absolutely blew up the Jungle website. And looks like they're maybe hard to get a hold of now. And they're definitely not $69 doll hairs anymore. However, some of you guys let me know that you can actually still get these on like Walmart.com for about the same price. So if you're having trouble finding them, maybe check that out. Anyway, you guys wanted to see me upgrade this thing, so I bought some legit Kyosho Mini Z upgrades, and I can't imagine why they wouldn't fit this thing. Let's take a look at what we got. First up, I got these brass hubs from the Jungle website. I'll put a link to these in the description below if you're playing along at home. And I bought these because I thought they were brass wheel weights. These are actually brass hubs, but they say that they will fit the Kyosho Mini Z Jimny and the Wrangler, which is what this is. So they should fit. I'm not sure if they are going to work with brass wheel weights, but I got some of those anyway. Also from the Jungle website, but these say that they only work with the Jimny. So I don't know why they wouldn't work with this one because it's the same platform. It looks like all the parts are pretty much the same, at least as far as driveline goes. So we're gonna find out if these work. The brass wheel weights are, in my opinion, the best bang for buck upgrade that you can get. These are only $12, and I think they are going to really improve the way this thing handles. And of course, I also got some adjustable shocks. These things, even in the bag, they feel like they're really, really smooth. And they also come with some new hardware and some spring options as well. So just the fact that they are fully adjustable and super duper smooth is going to be an improvement on the way that this thing handles. So we're looking at like $12 for the wheel weights, $17 hairs for those fancy schmancy shocks, and $13 for the hubs. All in, we're at $42. So add that to the original price of this thing at $69 hairs, and we're like $111 all in on this thing, which is still cheaper than an Axial SCX24 and cheaper than a Kyosho Mini Z 4x4 by a pretty good margin there. So is it going to perform as well as an Axial SCX24 after these upgrades? I don't know, but that's what we're here to find out. I went ahead and weighed this. I stole the scale from the kitchen. Don't tell my girlfriend. I weighed this thing, and it weighs about 241, 242 grams, somewhere right in there. So we're going to weigh this thing after the upgrades and see how much more chungus this thing got. So let's go ahead and get this thing ripped apart, and we'll get to wrenching. Should be pretty easy to work on. Before we get started, I want to give a big shout out to Cal RC for sending over this magnetic work mat for me to use. This thing makes jobs like this super easy, especially when working with tiny hardware like we have on this mini crawler. I use this thing almost every day. Check them out at calrc.com. Step 1 is to take off the wheels and just get a look at what we have and make sure this Mini Z clone will work with the legit Kyosho upgrades. These things don't come with any instructions, so it's worth it just to take a look and see what we're getting into. It's just a few Phillips head screws to get the stock hub off and swapped out for the new brass unit. How cool is it that this budget spec RC comes with ball bearings? You usually see bushings at this price point, but finding these in there was a pleasant surprise. Now it's time to see if our brass wheel weights will fit. Yep, they look like they'll go on there with really no problem at all. I like that they look like little brake rotors. It's time to get the shocks mounted, and I noticed that there is an inside and an outside to the bottom shock mount. See how the holes are off-center to the perch ever so slightly? I can already tell these upgrades are going to make a huge difference. So keep in mind, none of this stuff comes with instructions, so you're kind of left on your own to figure it out. But everything went together pretty easy, except for the shocks. Now, they sent an odd number of screws, and it became apparent that the hardware that they sent was not intended to attach the top of the shock to the chassis. And the factory hardware actually was too big and wouldn't fit through the shocks to attach to the chassis. So luckily, I keep lots of hardware, so I had some hardware that would fit. So I found these screws out of a servo horn kit, made to attach stuff to plastic servo horns. And wouldn't you know, those screws fit just about perfectly. And I had 4 of them, so no big deal there. And it looks like everything, all of our parts are going to fit, so just a couple more screws here, and this thing will be ready to rip. Ah, I can't wait. It should look a lot cooler, too. Man, look how good this thing looks, and it feels substantial. It feels much heavier. Let's get it on the scale and see just how much more it weighs now. Those wheel weights actually space the wheels out a little bit, so it gives it a little bit of a wider stance, so that's absolutely going to help when it comes to crawling as well, not only with weight but just the increased track width. So not a huge difference from stock, but definitely it makes it look really cool. I'm glad that we have some upgraded hardware in the thing now. The screws that I took out of it, they were all super duper chintzy, so it's a little bit of good insurance knowing that there is some legit hardware in there. Let's weigh this thing. What did we weigh before? It weighed 241 grams. I'm gonna guess we're probably over 300. 317. Not bad at all. What is that? That's about 50 grams that we added. That's not bad for literally brass wheel weights and those knuckles. Not bad at all. So numbers only tells half the story. Let's get it out and see how it performs, if there is a noticeable difference. All right, so before, this thing definitely struggled on hills and just vertical hills and side hilling as well. But there, that looks pretty good. The turning radius still isn't the best, but we definitely didn't do it any favors by widening the track width. Even on the steep part of the hill, it wants to do it. If we had it, there we go. Yeah, I was gonna say if we had a little bit more wheel speed, we could do it. But oh, come on, we're high centered a bit. Let me choose a better line. Oh, easy. Now right here is where it struggled side hilling. Oh yeah, look at that suspension flexing. Way better than it was. That new suspension is buttery smooth. Easy. Oh, there we go. Not sure if that's an improvement over last time, but at least it looked good doing it. Yeah, if you line yourself up, it's not too bad. You just got to keep the hammer down. And here you can see just how steep of a hill some of these hills are. Yeah, lifting a wheel, not bad. Not bad. Oh, it loves it. We just need a little bit more wheel speed. Oh, come on. Yeah. Wow. Okay, way better than last time. Oh. Really got to take your time, apparently. Now look how huge of a drop off this is. Like, that is aggressive. Oh. Yeah, definitely wouldn't have done that before without those wheel weights. Dang, what an improvement. It climbs better, it side hills better, even when you're doing something super aggressive and it lifts a wheel, just the whole articulation is so much smoother. It still, however, is dog slow. We definitely need a little bit more wheel speed, and that would help improve this thing quite a bit. Yeah, crawling is all good and fine and dandy, but the gearing on this thing, although it does seem conservative, it seems like the motor just doesn't really have enough oomph, even at that low gearing, to really crawl. So the easiest solution would just be more wheel speed. Maybe we can dig into the transmission of this thing and upgrade the gears. Maybe we can find a motor for it. If you guys know of any motors that we can swap into this Mini Z without a bunch of like fabrication, let me know down below. And let me know what you think of this thing altogether. Did you guys pick one up when I posted the last video? If you did, have you done anything with it? What has your experience been? Let me know. Let me know down in the doodle. And of course, if this is the first time checking out this channel, welcome. I'm glad you found it. I like to do RC shenanigans like this all the time. I've got some wicked stuff coming up. The 24 Minutes of Le Mini Z is live this Sunday. So make sure you sub up and stick around so you know, and you got the little, the notification bell. Doodle, make sure you got that on so you know when we go live, because that is going to be super duper fun. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you real soon. And we're chopping axials out here. Chopping them!